The Virginia Museum of Contemporary Art was actually founded by our community over 60 years ago. It actually started with the Boardwalk Art Show, which a lot of people in the area are familiar with, but there was an artist who was ill in the area and her friends wanted to rally around, and they created the Boardwalk Art Show, which then turned into a larger and larger event and eventually turned into wanting a permanent facility within the city. They started in a small place close to the ocean front, and then in 1989 this building was opened, and then in 2003 we got a larger extension, so we just continued to grow.
This building kind of has an unusual architecture. When you first walk in, there's a huge atrium with amazing LED lights and trees growing inside the atrium, and that's kind of weird, but it's really fun and it's a wonderful place to have events. Then you walk through and you walk into our exhibition spaces, and there's 5,200 square feet of exhibition space, which, like I said, changes every 3 months. And as you go through, you then enter into what we call Art Lab, and that's our educational space, which we're really proud of because this is a space to explore the art and the concepts involved a little further, and often have a little tactile time where you can touch some of the materials. Sometimes you can see the studio pictures of the artists. And then as you move through further, you come into the Rodriguez Pavilion, of which we're particularly proud because that houses the Chihuly chandelier, which is millicolore, which means 1,000 colors. And it's this beautiful, dynamic, squiggly chandelier that just kind of takes your breath away.
So one of the great things about the Virginia Museum of Contemporary Art is that it's the only museum in Virginia dedicated to the contemporary art of our time. So that means that we're changing our exhibitions all of the time and working with artists that are living and working today.
MOCA brings in 3 different exhibition sets a year: summer, fall, winter, winter, spring. And about 90% of those are homegrown, which means we work intimately with artists and museums and galleries and collectors to bring the work here. And I don't think a lot of people understand that the work you're seeing and the artwork you're seeing inside our spaces is primarily put together by people who live in this community and really understand its issues.
So education is really important to the museum. Everything that we do is centered around educating the public, and that is from ages 2 and up. So we have classes for 2- and 3-year-olds to come and take with their parents. We do tours for all of our local community schools. And then we have programming for adults and seniors and everything in between. Really learning about the art that's in our galleries is the most important thing, and finding ways to educate the community on those is wonderful. Awesome. Contemporary art is really important because it explores ideas of our time and talks about our culture and issues that our society faces. So sometimes it can be an interesting way for visitors to explore those in unusual and different ways and hear different perspectives that maybe they are not typically familiar with.